The big monster comes along here and goes whooshing off through there. Get thee hence, Beelzebub, to the pits of hell! In the Shadow King's books, I was kind of inspired by what I read in some of John Buchan's books, believe it or not. Not so much his sort of action-adventure potboilers, but things like Midwinter, which is set during 1745, during the Jacobite Rebellion. And the way he uses the weather and the landscape of Middle England, but before the Industrial Revolution was really about to get going. And it's like a really wild place. Yeah, landscape can mean many things, you know. Landscape can mean, as well as actually solid, real, physical landscape, it can mean landscape of the mind, or the landscape of ideas, or even philosophy, that kind of thing. In Seeds of Earth, and especially in the new book, The Orphaned Worlds, landscape for me will be the landscape, or rather the wildscape of hyperspace. Because in my books, hyperspace has lots of different levels, and some of the lower levels of hyperspace are very strange places indeed. I've just done one scene where essentially this entire continuum has been reduced to the level of geometrical shapes, like cubes and octagons and gigantic spheres that are the size of planetoids, but are like just dead worlds. And that's the kind of landscape that fascinates me as well. I get to that sort of stage and I just have carte blanche to do what the hell I like. Just put my characters through it, and well, if they like it or not, well, they just have to cope with it, basically. Yeah, its characterization is about observation of detail. You know, combining certain sort of character details or even flaws that make a character spring to life on the page. One of my supporting characters is a guy called Rory. He's basically a sort of a Glasgow wide boy. So I put a Glasgow wide boy into an interplanetary romance, basically. And when Rory comes on the stage, suddenly the dialogue gets snappier and faster and much more fun, I have to say, you know. I have another character who's called Yash. He's from an alien species called the Voth. And the Voth are basically space orangutans, but they're highly technical and they're techno nerds, interstellar orangutan techno nerds. They're irascible, curmudgeonly, with the Humanities Fire trilogy. The general theme is the way people or beings try to flee from things like responsibility or self-knowledge or fear or pain. Also my own political philosophy of my attitudes towards authoritarian states and their behaviour tends to emerge as well. Any reader with their wits about them will pick it up. Well, this is a science fiction space opera trilogy, so there should be completely overt and grotesque and bizarre technology and gadgets and stuff. So preferably old, really ancient, like worked into hills and mountains, and that's what I've got. You know, got this ancient technology from this long vanished race called the Forerunners, and basically they left their stuff all over this part of the galaxy. So, and a big chunk of it is sitting on this planet where the novel takes place. The future is the past, and when you're writing science fiction, you say you're working about the future, you're really writing about the present that you're in. And in my fictional universe, there's a big authoritarian empire called the Sindrukan hegemony, who basically think that they are the bee's knees, they are the absolute pinnacle of galactic civilization that everyone else should look up to. Yeah, I mean, the political setup in the Humanities Fire books, it's quite similar to where we are today on planet Earth, 2008. There's a sort of my American empire analogue called the hegemony. There's the downtrodden, do as you told, British analogue, who are known as the Earth Sphere. But it's not meant to be a one-to-one analogue, it's just basically a jumping off point for you know, the politics that however they may fall out. There's the Gomedrons, who are essentially humanoid, biped, wolfish, doggish, kind of irascible, snappy types. And there's the Kiskashin. I always want to do a sentient lizard, and these guys they're about 8 feet tall, and they're really, really snooty. They really think that they are the best in the galaxy. A good chunk of the galaxy think that humans are scum. They mailed fist for the hegemony. But the truth is that humans aren't really scum. It's just human politicians that are scum. Human politicians are scum. And they're behaving like scum in the rest of the galaxy and making humans look like scum when humans are not actually scum. And that's the whole point of the book. Humanity's Fire is to show that humans are not scum. It's just our politicians are scum. End of story.